Welcome to Invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional development. As a core time of 2:11 p.m. on Eastern Time, Ethereum contract $1,789, down about 3.70% so far. Respect over crypto market versus the equity market. The equity market has revived nicely. It seems like investors are just shaking off the target, obviously earning miss, and the negative outlook from the management team. And with respect to the crypto side, obviously we are being hindered from the Fed's regulatory bill that's being initialized, and seems like there is some enforcement that we should be looking out for going forward. Nothing confirmatory yet, but whenever you hear any news around regulatory restrictions or from the Feds, putting some chokehold, if you may, onto what is supposed to be, a decentralized asset, a commodity, if you may, would allow for or de-incentivize or discourage investors to be investing into crypto. So we had a slight hiccup early this morning, and as the day durates, obviously we are about like 2.5 hours. I was like 2 hours away from the market closing. There's some market normalization that we're seeing across the spectrum. So let's just dive into technical to see what's going on now. Nothing has changed majorly, but something that we have to remind ourselves that we hit all the way down at one point to 1700 earlier today. And this is kind of a foreshadow on what's going to be happening coming up on this Friday on the 10th, which is the CPI report coming. And then also on the 14th and 15th would be the FOMC meeting, right? So we don't know what's going to be the sentiment or the outcome of the CPI report because we do not have the data to be, to be making an assumption at the moment. But based on the historical CPI report, every single time in the last three occurrences, it always indicates a sell-off subsequent to that. Also, is with respect to the FOMC meeting. So unless the Fed has some sort of a tactical progression and we see some optimism, or at least a path to get to optimism, we should technically see more sell-off coming. And I would say the technical kind of checks out that the MACD line needs to cross down to form a death cross first, and then cross up to form a golden cross all over again to incentivize a buying pressure, right? So right now, I would say breaking below 1700 all the way to 1650, to possibly even 1550 would be possible in the frames of resistance level that we identify. In respect to Bitcoin, it's at 30,000 right now, basically. So ideally coming down to like 28,500 as we cross down and then cross up would be very logical, right? Right now you could see that clearly we got canceled at 50 on the RSI scale because of resistance, on the resistance level as well. And also on the technical frames, we can see that we could not break above to the next level of 32,500. So ideally coming down and then going up, allow for the death cross to be formed first and then cross up will be very likely. And then for Ethereum Classic, that about 4.23%, basically cross down and then cross up. Same thing in application. So I think anywhere from like low 20s below would be logical DCA from the current setup. Dogecoin, I would say high 7s, right? All the way to the low 7s in that frame of spectrum would be logical DCA. Again, you have to cross down and then cross up, right? And then for Cardano, up about 2%, 62 cents at the moment, up about around like the 62, around like the 60 cents mark, right, which is a flat number. 60, 55, 45, 40 respectively from there. We are at the, a little bit more higher on the echelon of 54 out of 70. But again, you need to cross down and then cross up, right? So I think ideally cooling down back to like below 50 cents would be more logical. And Solana down about 5% so far with the 39, right? Basically matching with the resistance level of what we were before. But ideally we need to cross down and then cross up, right? So ideally seeing MACD cross down first, which kind of match with the RSI. You got canceled out at 37 or like 40 if you round it up. that ideally seeing like 35, imminently all the way and then recuperate back up would be more logical to replenish the buying momentum. XRP up about 0.3% at 40 cents at the moment. So I like anywhere from basically 40, 35, 30 respectively, those frames of levels. You need to cross down and cross up, right? And then Polygon, no, not Polygon, Polkadot, sorry. Like the high 8s all the way to the low 8s would be a good frame to dollar cost average. You need to cross down and cross up. Algorand's down about 1.7% so far, 40 cents. I like anywhere from 40 cents, 35, all the way to 30. So you need to cross down and cross up again, right? Across the whole market, you need to sell down and then pump back up. You can't just like go up in one shot, right? Shiba Inu, I think buying around like below 1,000, like starting at the 950, all the way to 800 would be very logical based on the current setup. You need to cross down and cross up, right? And then Polygon, down about 4% so far, 60 cents, 55, 50, 45, like those respective levels, right? AVAX, lastly, $24 at the moment. I like anywhere from basically 22 onward down would be logical DCA, right? You need to cross down and cross up from there, right? Okay, so it's a Tuesday today. We are, still pending on the confirmatory signal on the 10th on Friday. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see some sort of anticipatory pressure starting on, I guess, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, definitely, all the way until it comes out on Friday at 8:30 a.m. on the Eastern time, right? So across the markets, trending nicely. It seems like the equity market has rebounded back up to like 0.5% across the board. And also the VIX, which is the volatility index, is also dipping down as people digest the target profit miss earning call earlier. So seems like we all chilling and recuperating back up to more of a normalized level. So let me know if you have any questions, and I appreciate for the evaluation on the scale from 1 to 5. It seems like I am heavily indexed on about like 4.5 out of the scale of 5, with about like 80% of people voting around that area. So I appreciate you. But let me know if you have any questions in the meantime, and take care. Bye.